Deathmold, Sheeler, meet me in my tent. You're to explain what the hell happened there, and how we're to get rid of it.
As you command, Your Majesty.
I'll tolerate no delays on this matter, and summon all my company commanders.
Immediately, Your Majesty.
Corporal, I'd like you to watch the Witcher closely. He just pulled me from a magic hell, so I doubt he wants my head as he took Foltests. But I'll not have him wandering round the camp like some stray dog. Occupy him for a time, then bring him to my tent.
Sire, I must request an audience.
Later. I'll see my mages first, then the Witcher.
Ah, just lovely. And here I'd hoped for a calm little war.
Know where I might wet my throat around here?
Roach, willing to vouch for this overgrown urchin?
He did not kill Foltest or Demavend, if that's what you're asking. You've got my assurance on that.
Good enough for me. Let's go then. Here's where the king organizes tournaments. All glamour, ceremony, noses and cocks in the air. Between those, we kill time thrashing about with swords, pikes, chairs, the works. Good stuff, no holds barred. They pay well too if you know who to talk to and who to bet on. Excuse me a moment, Witcher. How did the fight go?
You've a nose for this, Zivik. You won again.
My gold?
You gonna bet on more fights today?
Course. I'll come by later. See him, Witcher? Loosen his bonds a bit and he's liable to jump at your throat like a rabid mutt.
One of Yorva's Scoia'tael. How did you capture him?
Scouts found him wounded in the ravines. Someone massacred a small unit. The boy said it was a bloodbath, as if the Reaper just swung his scythe right through them. Whoever attacked them was very strong.
Any idea who it might have been?
No. But if they managed to ambush elves in the wild, I'd rather not meet them.
Right, Zivik. Let's go see the king.
How's it going, lads?
I can't feel me ploughing feet from all this standing around. Any chance you'll be sending up some replacements?
In an hour. Open up the gate. The king wants to see the Witcher.
Yeah.
Go straight to the royal tent. You can't miss it. I've a few things to take care of.
Godspeed, Zivik.
I'll be near the main gate if you need me. So long.
Nearly everyone hunts you, yet you live in spite of that. Impressive.
I find it hard to wean myself off life.
As do we all. However, in all my career as an ambassador of His Imperial Majesty, I have never met anyone quite as talented at surviving as you. I took the liberty of checking some rumors about you. I'll say it again. Impressive. Are you seeking employment? I was unaware you fellows hired yourselves out for battle.
My aim here is different.
Really? Perhaps I can be of assistance.
What's the Emperor's envoy doing here? Satisfy my curiosity.
The last unfortunate conflict left the Northern Kingdoms in pitiful economic condition. His Imperial Majesty desires stability. We wish to offer financial assistance, so I'm visiting those lands hardest hit by the war.
Henselt is coping admirably as far as I can see.
The details of my visit here are reserved for the Emperor and the Kaedweni King.
You sure they're that big a secret? I mean, they could be important to me.
They could also be relevant to the Empire's security. You'll learn nothing from me.
Foltest was a good king. Shame he ended that way.
I've already conveyed the Emperor's condolences to Constable Natalis. Since we're talking about Temeria and Foltest, apparently the fallen king's advisor, the sorceress Triss Merigold, has disappeared in mysterious circumstances. Rumors abound. Do you know anything about her?
Why do you ask, Excellency?
I heard the two of you are close.
Witchers and sorceresses don't generally share that kind of information.
I understand it's a delicate matter. All right then. Allow me to ask about something else. I mentioned Triss because, I must admit, I am perturbed. Mages are known for their mutual envy and rivalry. I wonder if there's any matter that could unite them.
Perhaps you could be a bit clearer, Excellency.
Then I shall ask directly. Do you know anything about Marigold's involvement with an organization of sorceresses? Assuming, of course, that you are, theoretically, or have been, close.
I'm a witcher. I rarely theorize. Killing monsters is purely practical.
I don't doubt it. Though sometimes a single understatement can speak more than 1,000 words. So I thank you for your silence, Witcher. Do you have other questions?
Why are you so interested in this organization of sorceresses?
I wonder about some strange coincidences. I'm told several of them were seen in the vicinity when the assassination attempts occurred.
What's so suspicious about that? Mages have always thronged around monarchs, the source of power and coin.
I'm not accusing anyone. I merely said it makes me wonder.
I saw you with Foltest before. Now you're with Henselt. No doubt you'll visit the King of Redania next.
I need not go far. Radovid is en route to Lochmuin. Perhaps he has already arrived. We'll meet there.
Lochmuin? An ancient elven city quite a ways away, near the source of the Pontar. Why there?
The mages wish to re-establish their council. They sent out invitations to all the kings.
Greetings, Geralt.
I'd assumed that after killing the Kayran, the Pontar Valley would hold no further interest for you.
You know nothing about me, Witcher. I'm here because 2 northern monarchs were murdered. It's quite probable Henselt is next on the list. We don't need another country descending into chaos. King Henselt cannot die. I'll make sure of that.
It's pretty obvious you and Deathmold don't exactly get along.
Deathmold is an overgrown baby. A fine match for King Henselt. The problem is that he's as jealous as he is childish. He claims I wish to steal his position at the Kaedweni court. Nothing could be more absurd.
Foltest's killer forced Triss to teleport him to Vergen. They're somewhere nearby.
That nosy little meddler Triss used my megascope to accomplish that. But I suppose I should be grateful. After all, I might have been the Kingslayer's victim. Even if Triss is in Vergen, I cannot locate her. This damn fog prevents any kind of magical probing.
Come in, Witcher. I wish you to feel at ease, as this is an unofficial audience. You helped me in the mist, thus I surmise you do not seek my death. Which leads me to ask what you do seek here, Geralt of Rivia.
Peace and quiet, sire. I need to clear my name. Though I tend not to meddle in politics, this time I believe I have no choice.
You must answer quickly and unequivocally. You must be clear, Witcher. I'm in no mood for excuses hiding behind professional codes and trade secrets. Did you kill Foltest?
No.
Do you know who did?
A witcher named Letho.
Do you know each other?
I don't know. I have amnesia. Letho has suggested he knows something about me. It's possible we met before.
There's an old Kaedweni saying, a bitch will never bite another bitch. 100% accurate where sorceresses are concerned.
To the matter at hand, sire.
De Tanseville claims this Letho is in the area. Is that true?
Yes.
What does he want here? My head?
He's hiding from Yorvith and his Scoia'tael. I don't know his plans.
And you aim to get him?
I do.
Last question. Do you know who had Foltest and Demavend assassinated? Who's behind the Kingslayers?
I don't know, but I'll find out when I find Letho.
My spies have confirmed your words. I suppose I must believe you. Now to the other matter. The mist, the wraiths, all that magic shit holding up my campaign. My mages, as usual, have proved useless. They blather on about higher magic, delayed curses, and other hogwash, but nothing comes of it. This matter must be settled with a sword. A witcher's sword. Will you manage this task?
I'm willing to try.
Excellent. Lift the curse, and you'll learn the meaning of royal generosity. And even should you fail to catch this Letho, I shall help you clear your name. Consider Deathmold at your disposal. He'll give you all the necessary information. Also, you are free to move about the camp and its environs from now on. Now, leave me alone.
The curse was cast 3 years ago. Any sign it's been active in the interim?
Is that important?
Sire, we're not talking about a fortune told in a tent on market day, nor about some curse cast by a novice mage. This curse caused a solar eclipse and summoned hordes of specters. We're dealing with a complex spell that operates at several levels. Uncommon knowledge and skill were required to cast it. Lifting it will be even more difficult. If I'm going to deal with it, I need you to cooperate.
Ah, the plague. So be it.
As we forged our way through the fog, you claimed it was Glevisig's curse.
Sabrina Glevisig's. She was a sorceress, my former advisor. I ordered her bound to a wagon wheel and burned alive. While dying, she cursed me and my lineage. That was 3 years ago.
What did you condemn Sabrina for, sire?
1 year after the Peace of Sintra, I fought Demerven for Lormark. General Vandegrift commanded a part of my force. He forded the Pontar and joined battle on this field. It raged until evening, when Sabrina Glevisig decided to take matters into her own hands. Fireballs rained down onto the battlefield. 3,000 men turned to bloody charred meat scraps. The fire consumed Kedwenis and Adernians alike. Knights boiled alive in their armor. Mad beasts howling with pain. War is for the honorable. When the likes of Glevisig enter the fray, it turns into hell.
What drove Sabrina to attack her own army? Any specific reason?
I've heard none, not even speculation. She was my advisor, a member of the Council of Mages. For years I was forced to tolerate her excesses, schemes, court scandals.
Was she loyal?
Ha! Only to herself.
Sire, do you remember the curse itself? What exactly did Sabrina say?
All she said at the time has been fulfilled to some degree. A star adorned with a bloody braid will cut across the heavens. Square coins from maritime depths will beguile the hearts of fools.
Coins?
Deathmold found a few such coins among soldiers accused of treason.
Witcher, a word, if you will. You have no idea how delighted I am to work in tandem with you.
True, I have no idea.
Better times approach, Geralt, you shall see. I trust you're not bothered if I refer to you by name.
Not at all.
Wonderful, I feel we shall become great friends.
That remains to be seen.
Shake my hand, Geralt, to mark the beginning of our friendship. Don't worry, I've no poison needle up my sleeve. I believe one can learn much about a man from his handshake.
Learned anything?
You have the handshake of a warrior. Strong, decisive, dominating. You're the conquering type. The kind women love.
I was asking about the curse.
Oh, of course. What would you like to know?
Did you notice that not all the specters were aggressive?
Most would disappear when we neared them.
I think the curse's power corrupts the ghosts of those who died in the battle, turning them into Draugrs.
Draugrs, is that some professional name you witches have for specters?
They're demons, Deathmold. Draugrs are demons of war that arise on battlefields where the fighting was vicious and the slaughter particularly bloody. They are hatred and bloodlust in condensed form.
The name matters little. Do you know how to rid us of these Draugrs?
A silver sword's enough to send them to their rest. But as long as the curse remains active, new ones will appear. The soldiers' ghosts are the key. If we could reverse the tide of the battle...
Don't delay. Grab your sword and start reversing.
I'll need some symbols of war that belonged to the soldiers who perished here. Artifacts symbolizing hatred, death, courage, and faith. They have to be magically active and linked to those who died. Without them, I won't be able to summon the ghosts.
Well, I've no idea how to find them, apart from which I know little about war symbolism.
I'll deal with the artifacts. I have another job for you. Have you dealt with curses before?
I've cast a few in my time. One victim sprouted donkey's ears and a tail, another's house burned down. Nothing too serious.
Shame. Have you removed curses, lifted spells?
Never had the chance. But I mastered the theory involved. Best in my class at the Magic Academy.
They don't teach you about curses like this one at Banord.
Glevis's Curse is a 4th level blood spell. It's also known as the Archmistress's Curse. A misnomer, for they've been cast by generally crazed mages or priests, not necessarily women.
You've done your homework. Explain this blood curse to me.
An ordinary blood curse is a trivial thing. You let a little of your own blood. Best done at midnight, surrounded by lit candles.
Sabrina had a whole pyre around her. Tell me about Glevis's curse.
Read about it for yourself. I have all the necessary literature. In fact, you only need the Great Encyclopedia of Curses, Spells and Prophecies, and a volume compiled by Tesside de Vries and Margarita Loantil, Masters of Magic on Curses Selected Writings.
I'm not going to waste my time reading. Tell me the important bits.
Oh, no need to be ashamed, Geralt. In these times, few get the opportunity to learn the arts of reading and writing. Illiteracy is...
I can read, mage. Time's a-wasting. Are you gonna start helping me?
The effects and phenomena generated by a 4th level blood curse require an immense amount of the power. The eclipse, the death of a dynasty, the battle of spectres. No sorcerer, no living being can summon such levels of energy. It's quite simply impossible.
But some clever mages discovered how to make possible the impossible. Since then, the world has lived in fear of your curses. Genius. What did you discover?
A prophecy that initiates a blood curse is simply a spell that binds the power. It should be cast at a site possessing the appropriate accumulation characteristics. A battlefield is perfect. Blood-soaked ground, defined boundaries, a symbolic dimension. When the caster utters the words of the prophecy, the curse begins to accumulate the power. For the last 3 years, day after day, month after month, the initiating curse has been gathering the power, drawing it from the elements of fire, earth, air, and water. The energy thus accumulated could move the stars. Enter the activator, one of the prophesied events possessing its own symbolic dimension. It releases the accumulated energy for use by the curse proper. Ordinarily, the curse cannot utilize all the built-up power, which must be released in some way, so one gets side effects, like solar eclipses.
Are you sure Sabrina cast the curse?
Positively. Curses of this kind are cast rarely. There have only been 6 confirmed cases.
How many confirmed cases have there being lifted?
1. By a team of mages led by Archmistress Francesca Findabair, whence came the curse's other appellation. In any case, Sabrina Glevisig was part of that team.
Small world, and one that just got a little uglier.
That's not all. The curse that Francesca and Sabrina dealt with was meant to end the lives of the last of the Tyson dynasty, the rulers of Kovir. It was cast by Scarlet Rodalega, a very talented but completely mad man. A prophecy and an activator were also involved.
I see. Sabrina just stole her curse from this Rodalega.
Precisely. Beside which the king himself and a company of armed men witnessed her casting it.
Why is Henselt still breathing? He killed the priest. Why didn't he burst like a ripe tomato under a dwarf's heel?
Perhaps Glevisig wishes Henselt to wait for imminent death.
I don't think so. I know a few sorceresses. They're mean, true, but they also want results. Sabrina cast the curse while roasting at the stake. Not the most comfortable circumstances. I suspect she botched something.
Are you suggesting Henselt may be safe?
I'm suggesting he could be saved, provided we cut him off from the heart of the curse, the Battle of Spectres. It's the weakest link.
How could we do that?
I don't know yet, but I suspect I could summon Sabrina's ghost and force her to free Henselt. First, I need to learn the circumstances of her death. We've got our comet and murder. What about the coins?
We have those as well. Not enough for you?
No. Why do I get the feeling I've stumbled on some shameful secret?
A state secret.
If you don't tell me, your head of state may soon lose his head.
There's a plot afoot within the military. Those involved share a symbol, a square coin adorned with a fish. Let's do this. I shall in no way hinder your investigation, and you will reveal to me anything you learn. Should I happen upon anything related to the curse?
You'll let me know. So be it. If I'm not mistaken, you need blood to cast a blood curse.
Precisely, unachievable otherwise.
Sabrina was bound to a wagon wheel. Where did she get enough blood?
She put a spell on a soldier who gave her a coup de grace. It was easy, the minds of some soldiers are so uncomplicated. Sabrina needed one of them to strike her, shorten her suffering, but complete the curse. However, this is where she erred. That whore performed miracles, gathered the power, got the prophecy and activator right, but fell flat on her face on the simplest thing at the end.
Don't get so excited.
She chose a fool, a bungler. I heard he thrust 5 times with his spear, yet the witch's soul would not quit her corpse.
There was no one guarding the pyre?
It was one of the guards the sorceress chose for the task. His comrades were irate. He spoiled the show for them. The king was no longer anywhere near.
In any case, blood flowed and the curse took root.
Yes, but the harlot got her due.
You're gonna help me, Deathmold.
Of course, as the king ordered.
Listen up. You'll do the paperwork. I get the feeling you like it. I'll need a number of protective runes to summon Sabrina's ghost. They need to detain the sorceress's ghost and anything else that enters this world with it. Find something for me in your library. The runes need to be easy to produce. I haven't seen any artists around here. Apart from that, the Draugrs are likely to begin their forays in search of Henselt. When they leave the battlefield, they'll grow weaker. Your men should be able to handle them. Just equip them with silver-plated weapons. Henselt could also use something silver to defend himself. Over the entrance to his tent, hang a wreath of cinquefoil and fool's parsley. Inside, a fire fueled by juniper branches must burn at all times.
Where will I get so much silver?
Melt down your collection of pots for all I care. Just get it.
Those aren't pots, they're silver vases of Nazaya.
Last of all, give Henselt an instructional talk. Explain that I'll need him.
And what will you be doing? Drinking ale and fondling the camp women?
There's that, yes. Though I'll also prepare to summon Sabrina's ghost, and figure out what I need to send the fighting specters back to the afterlife. I'll drop by and give you more work as I learn about this curse.
How did you divine that you might recover your memory by lifting the curse?
I don't like people poking around in my life.
Learning about others is my job. I must know the secrets of all who wish to approach the king. I've no problem admitting I like the work.
My past has nothing to do with Henselt.
You don't know that. Do you know why I have no friends, Witcher? Because sooner or later I learn all their secrets, which is followed by interrogations, torture, executions.
Just leave my past alone.
Odrin! Odrin, where are you? What do you want?
I heard you calling out for Odrin.
What of it?
Just curious. Half the camp's looking for him.
Well, he's gone and got lost. But Odrin's a good man. He can drink 6 noggins of liquor, one after the other.
Wouldn't mind buying him a pint. What does he look like?
Ordinary, like any soldier, except he staggers a lot.
Get up, you piss pump. Your friends are worried sick about you.
What? Where am I? What am I doing here? This is strange.
Are you Odrin?
Odrin, that's right. And that one was a cunt runt. Not a proper her, you know. I was all la-dee-da, I'll plow you nice, I says. And she done scream at me, like a bruxa.
Listen, Odrin, you're so drunk a single spark and you'd be a torch. Now straighten up and shut up or the guards won't let you in the camp.
So I says to her, I says, Square, schmer, what square? What the fuck, fish, do you mean? I wanna plow. And this cunt's prating on about square fish.
Tell me about the square fish later. We gotta get you back to your friends. They're worried about you.
Me mates? Ulf? Ulf, me brother, where is he? Ulf? Ulf?
Calm down and try not to puke on the guards.
Five tankards, 6 tankards, you look like a ghoul.
Go into the
Don't
slaughter
fall neath the
like a pig
table,
for a
tear your
feast.
arse to the...
Not I can do.
Beer!
I'm buying.
Ever see a witcher spreading coin around? Well, ever?
A first for me.
It all depends on the company.
Hear that, cocksuckers? Now step the fuck away from my best mate.
Beer inspires great conversation.
No, that was beautiful, what you said.
So, what are we going to converse about?
I'm looking for work. Think Henselt could use a witcher?
Deathmold would make better use of one.
Aye. He'll cut you up into bits and look at them neath a scope. Like a frog.
Shut it! Deathmold's got long arms and even sharper ears.
Henselt trusts Deathmold. I think the king knows what he's doing.
He don't know shite. I stand by it. Deathmold's got him under his thumb.
Quiet down.
Folk are happy, though. That's what's important.
Folk have had Henselt about up to the top of their helmets. Things go on like this, they'll knock his fat arse off that throne. He don't look to his soldiers no more. Forgotten us, the ingrate.
Well, it's no surprise they want to get rid of him, huh?
Audrin, shut it.
Geralt's like a brother. I'll keep no secrets from him.
Who are you talking about?
A knave, greedy and cruel. Kills for pleasure. A son of a bitch has magic armor and plays tough. Thought he could do what he pleased until he caught Deathmold's eye. Now he's hiding. Too bad about them other lads. If Trott's caught, he'll give them all up. Heads'll roll, I tell ya. Some peoples have come together to plot. They wanted me to join them, but I was too busy. And I don't trust this Trott. Them other coiners is alright, but Vincent's a greedy sadist.
Where can I find them?
What you mean where? The brothel, of course. Ask for Whistling Wendy.
I'm not looking for a whore.
Once you have her, pay attention now. Tell her you want her smile to open the gates of paradise. Get it right? Except you won't get the fucker then. Ah, and give her this. I've no use for this coin. Won't buy me no beer. Wendy'll take you to them coiners. Leave me be, father!
Leave you be? Your life's at stake! Why, your mother would have my head if anything happens to you!
No! This is about my honor. And ply what mother does to you, I'll practice. I must prepare.
Why
Get a hold
did
of
he
yourself,
have to be
soldier.
like me? Stubborn imbecile.
Mind if I join you?
Think I've the right to stop you from taking a free stool?
No, right? But you might not want company while you drink.
And why might you want to drink with me?
Always better to talk business over a tankard. Let me buy a round.
All the same to me.
Getting sad drunk.
My son's decided to kill himself. He's decided to duel Lieutenant Abbott, known as the Butcher of Sidorus. All in all, that makes him a dead man.
Lieutenant Abbott. Who's that?
A killer.
Plenty of those in the army.
No, killing enemies is not the same as slaughtering your own countrymen. The Butcher likes the latter, and he's good at it. The best.
They're going to duel to the death?
Are you that ignorant? We've been sitting here for weeks. Nothing is happening, and Henselt don't like that, so he's organised some diversions.
You mean tournaments?
Nothing like tournaments, more like murders. Mock battles without the mocking. The jailers really leave the arena on their own 2 feet. When our unit learned that 6th Company was putting forward the butcher of Cidaris, there were no volunteers, so we drew straws and it fell to Sven.
He can't back out.
He can, but he won't. I've pleaded, I've begged, but my son's a stubborn one. The pup's got honour. But what good's honour to a corpse?
What if I helped you?
What kind of question is that?
Could I count on you in return?
Save my son, and there won't be a thing I wouldn't do to aid you.
I take that as your vow. Where's Sven?
Training in front of the canteen, near the mercenaries' tent. You'll know him when you see him.
Are you Sven?
Who's asking?
Somebody who just might save your ass.
Piss off!
I wouldn't play the hero if I were you.
You don't know me.
I spoke to your father.
Ha! I'll wager he told you the sad story of Sven, who needs to be rescued.
I'm no wandering knight, and you're no princess in distress. I promised your father I'd help you.
Then go back and ask his pardon for tricking him.
Will you feel better when they kill you?
I'll certainly feel worse if I cower out.
I'm the last one who'd ask you to do that.
What will you do? Summon the butcher and send him out on an urgent mission to deflower the Virgin of Aedirn?
No, we'll fight as a pair against Latond and his second. Your honor will remain untouched, like a 12-year-old nun's petal.
Why do you wish to help me?
I told you. Your father asked me.
And you courteously agreed. Is that so?
Yes.
You lie.
What difference does it make, really?
Scared of going against the saint.
The enemy have...
I'm looking for Letond Avet, the butcher of Cidaris.
What do you seek?
I'm looking for the coward. Heard he picks fights with youngsters who have yet to start shaving.
What did you say?
He's a coward and a poser. You know him?
I am him, and consider yourself dead, wanderer.
We'll meet in the arena.
Yes, in the arena. Hey, Lytham! You'll be my second. We shall duel in pairs.
See you.
Ah! But what if she's truly an anointed virgin? And? Has he agreed?
Yes.
Some whoreson, eh?
Unique among them. Ready?
Uh-huh.
Let's go get him.
Most gracious king, noble lords, men-at-arms, shortly in the arena you shall witness the famed Letond Avet, known also as the Butcher of Cidaris, at whose side shall stand the Honourable Edwin the Petal Lysam. Opposing them are Sven of Somewhere and Geralt of Rivia, Witcher. May the gods favor the better men! Begin! Hail to the victor! Glory to the vanquished! The prize in the contest was a noble title. Our gracious and merciful ruler, King Henselt, shall generously bestow this upon the young Sven. Heralds will announce these subsequent duels. Long live King Henselt! Long live Kedwin!
Thank you. You salvaged my honor.
He salvaged that foolish head of yours.
I'm a knight now. The king himself will do the honors.
You were born in a pigsty where the labour came to your mother 18 springs ago. Nothing'll change that. Witcher, I said you could demand what you will, and my word's no worse than a noble's.
You demanded payment for helping me?
This is between your father and me.
Who do you pray for?
I can't say.
And neither can you, father.
An old soldier's word is no handful of hay with which to wipe your arse.
I'll have naught to do with this.
Go to Madame Carl's brothel and ask for Whistling Wendy. The madam will take you to her tent and leave you alone. Wendy will ask what you wish. Tell her you want her smile to open the gates of paradise. Are we even?
Yeah.
And beware of Vincent Trott. He may be hiding with the conspirators. Dangerous man, that one.
Deathmole's looking for him. And if he finds him, we may all end up tasting the executioner's axe. That scoundrel falls into the sorcerer's hands. He'll give us all up to save his own skin.
I'll be careful.
Trott wears a magic suit of armor. He could prove a difficult foe, even for you.
Still looking for coins. What else am I...
Witcher,
What?
the king is impressed with your skills. He's called on me to organize a tournament.
If this goes on, his entire army will be slaughtered before he moves against Edirn.
This time it'll be a tourney of knights. None of that slaughter for the riffraff to enjoy. The king will reward the winners handsomely. If you're interested, find me by the arena. Who do I spy if not the famed Geralt of Rivia?
You seem to know me, but I have no idea who you are.
And you're worse off for that, for I can make you even more famous.
You write ballads or something?
I've no notion of songs, but the king's vested me with the task of organizing knightly tourneys. A swordmaster like you must be eager to show off his skills. Knightly tournaments are a pastime for real men.
Does King Henselt have any interests besides fighting?
We value knightly tradition in Kedwin. Only duels in the arena let a knight stay in good form and hone his skills.
I'm interested in the Rotfiend contract. Know anything about it?
The scum has so far destroyed 2 convoys of army provisions. Before we arrived, they'd only attacked the local cattle. Since the mist appeared, they've grown bolder and started hunting our patrols. The lads from the company have collected a kitty. Sort it all out and the coin is yours.
I'm done with...
Tournaments. Now that's a pastime for real men.
All right, I'll take part in your tournament.
The king will be pleased. Just remember, this will not be a fight to the death.
I'll try not to forget.
Duels take place from noon to dusk. You'll find me by the arena then. Tournaments. Now that's a pastime for real men.
Can we start the tourney?
Ready?
I am indeed.
Let's begin then. Geralt of Rivia will now take on the fearless Borin.
I yield!
Witcher Geralt wins!
Is there not a single fucking soul in Kedwin able to beat the Witcher? Dung-filled cowards, all of you!
Apparently not in Kedwin. But in Temeria, perhaps. I'll give it a shot.
That could be interesting. If you win, I'll double the reward.
The Witcher's challenger this time will be Vess, a maiden serving in an elite unit of the Temerian army.
I surrender!
A few more like him and I could conquer half the world. Give him the prize! He's earned it!
The king wanted a spectacle and he got it. A shame the result was so predictable.
Witches are not invincible.
Seems this one is. But you were brave nonetheless.
She fought harder than all the Kedweni soldiers combined.
You're very kind.
Wasn't so kind in the arena.
He took me seriously.
That's true.
Thanks for not giving me a handicap. I'm going back to my camp. Visit me if you want.
Women. Here's your praise. I need to get back to my business.
Thanks.
Greetings, Geralt.
Greetings, Vess. What news from the Blue Stripes?
They're keeping their eyes open, as always.
Henselt thinks he'll take Vergen easily.
A regular army will always win against a popular uprising. I know this, Henselt knows it. I don't understand why Saskia doesn't.
Maybe she'd rather die than surrender. Or she has a surprise in store for Henselt.
Possibly. Henselt keeps the precise plans of his campaign a secret.
Why haven't you set up in the Kedweni camp? Information becomes more available the closer you get to the source.
Henselt doesn't trust us, and I don't blame him. If not for this damn fog, we'd have moved even further south.
We've lost the assassin's trail.
The trail led us here. If it goes no further, the assassins must be in the vicinity. I see two possibilities. Either Henselt hired them, or he's their next target.
We'll find out soon enough. Could Henselt himself be behind the assassinations?
You don't think it's possible? Consider the Pontar Valley. Temeria, Kedwen and Edirn have been disputing it for generations. Only now, Temeria and Edirn are kingless.
True. Henselt might profit from the deaths of Foltest and Demavend, but covert assassinations aren't his style.
I suppose you're right. The Kedweni king seems to love a good war. Just take a look around. Perhaps that's his ruse. When the cheese goes missing from the larder, no one thinks of blaming the cat.
I wanted to thank you. That was a great fight.
The only great fights are those I win.
It's no dishonor to lose to a mutant created for swordsmanship.
If it wasn't a tournament but a battle, we wouldn't be speaking now.
You were better than all the Knights of Kedwen put together.
You're very kind.
I'm sincere.
A rare trait. Perhaps I should take advantage of this opportunity.
Since we're being honest, I'd like to have some wine with you.
With pleasure.
I wasn't expecting you to agree. This was your chance to get back at me.
I have no need. In truth, I'm grateful to you.
Interesting.
I was sure you'd go easy on me. Then I'd have told you to bugger off. But since you took me seriously, I have some Toussaint wine in my tent. Could I tempt you?
Lead the way. I learned more about you from that duel than from all our conversations put together.
I'm curious. According to Geralt of Rivia, what is Vess like?
She's ambitious, honorable, and beautiful.
In that order?
What if I say the reverse?
If you think I don't like to hear compliments about my beauty, you're very wrong. I'm a soldier, and it pisses me off when I'm viewed as a pair of tits atop an arse. But I'm also a woman, and like every woman, I have my needs.
In that case, let's drink to your needs.
I fulfill my needs differently.
Then what do you want to drink to?
To us?
I didn't know there was an us.
Better to live a day as a king than a life as a beggar. First we'll drink the wine, then we'll go to bed.
Can we do it the other way round?
In the face of possible disaster, they tried to draft entire villages in Baywood. Half the serfs knew before...
Here to spy on us.
Who would I be spying for?
For Henselt. For Death Mold. I heard they hired you.
It just so happens we have common aims. But don't worry, observing Vernon Roach isn't one of them.
In that case, to what do I owe this pleasure?
I was wondering what you're actually doing here, Vernon.
The Blue Stripes never want for work, especially in a hotbed like this.
You're not about to tell me, are you? And here I thought we had something special.
I've got my finger on the pulse, and I've not forgotten what I came here for, Geralt.
Foltest's assassin.
Precisely. He's holed up like a rat, and he'll meet a rat's end.
Any idea what's happening on the other side of the Battle of Spectres?
Well, I expect not much has changed. A bunch of dwarves, elves, and peasants are trying to figure out how to save Edirn.
Saskia's an exceptional woman.
But just a woman, nonetheless. Besides, how would you know?
Just a hunch, and there's all the talk. Besides, to assemble an army of elves, dwarves, and humans who fight side by side, you pretty much have to be extraordinary.
You'll not persuade me some woman will defeat Henselt in battle.
You're forgetting one thing. Kedwen's just fighting for a better life. Edirn's fighting for life itself.
Motivation's important, I grant you. But it can't trump knowledge of the art of war. Temeria's my only concern. And I'll be glad to see Henselt's forces tied up here. That's a good thing.
Think he wouldn't stop after conquering Edirn? What if he quickly deals with Saskia and turns his army west?
It's possible. but I hope it won't come to that.
You need to be careful. Deathmold can't learn that you're holding a Kaedweni spy.
He won't. Don't you worry none.
Deathmold has an excellent net of his own spies.
That spy we caught at Laredo's, Arnold. He's prancing around in the next world.
Why did you kill him?
What else was I to do?
On the boat, you said he was living proof of Henselt's conspiracy against Temeria.
I didn't plan it. He just didn't survive the interrogation.
Maybe you shouldn't have keel-hauled him.
If he'd been cooperative, I wouldn't have had to.
Did he spill anything interesting?
He was tough, but waterboarding can be incredibly effective. Eventually, he coughed up that Henselt was trying to bring the border towns to a boil.
Henselt's not stupid. He wouldn't want to wage war on two fronts.
That rat Laredo was supposed to stir unrest in Flotsam. Luckily, you rearranged his intestines with your blade.
You miss your old friend, Yorvith?
If the gods are kind, he'll yet fall into my hands. That said, I wonder what the scoundrel's up to.
What news of good old Flotsam?
Thanks to us, it still is good old Temerian Flotsam. If I hadn't sniffed out Laredo's treachery, a Kaedweni garrison would be stationed there already. Constable John Natalis has appointed a new commandant to Flotsam. Let's hope he doesn't turn out to be another whore.
How are things, Vernon?
Quiet. Nothing to talk about, really. Like everybody else, I'm waiting to see how events unfold.
Why not stop waiting and try setting something in motion?
My people are combing the area for Letho, who seems to have vanished. There's nothing else I can do. What are you up to?
Busy as ever. I need to lift the fog of specters, reverse Sabrina's curse, and find out who's behind the plot to assassinate Henselt.
I never thought I'd see you so eager to help Henselt.
Coincidence. Our interests happen to have aligned.
What interest might you have in tracking down this plot?
I get the feeling it's all linked. If I can't get to the bottom of this plot, I'll be unable to lift the curse and never recover my past.
In any case, I wonder who's behind it.
Well, I know where the plotters meet. If you want to learn more, come with me.
That would be a grave error. A captain of the Temerian army shouldn't meddle in the domestic matters of another state.
I thought that's exactly what they pay you to do.
Sorry, Geralt. This time I truly cannot help.
The Count says these are pansies, not soldiers. But we'll have to make do with them. We'll put them out front, let the cavalry run them over. Maybe...
Finn! Keep dropping your guard like that and they'll beat your kisser to a pulp! Who do we have here?
Someone who's worried about your close combat skills.
We practice a few hours every day.
And here I thought practice makes perfect.
Really? Care to show us your skill then? White-haired one.
Why not? Who's willing?
I'll try. See if you're as strong in your arms as you are in your gob.
Let's see what my friend Vernon taught you.
Make some room!
Move it! Dodge! Dodge! Wake up!
Ha! He's still young. He'll learn. With a few more surprises up our sleeves. How about you?
Why not? Who's willing?
Run out of monsters to slay? Why are you fighting my men?
Just checking to see if you've taught them well.
And?
I'm amazed they're still standing.
You lackeys! Letting yourselves get thrown around like hay bales. Maybe you want to give me a try.
Show me what you got, my striped friend.
You win. Feels like I've been kicked by a mare.
Pleasure getting a few slugs in the mug from you, Witcher. We're always eager to learn. You deserve a prize.
I don't need a reward.
It's no reward, just a sign of gratitude. We drag our asses round the world and collect all sorts of scrap metal. Take something. May it serve you well. See you soon.
Not so fast, Witcher. You'll take me on now. You snitch.
So be it.
What the bloody hell's all this about?
We're just practicing.
Want practice? I'll have you cleaning the canteen with your bare arses. How's that for practice? Back to the camp!
Aye, sir. That doesn't end this. Stop looking for square coins. You've little to gain, and you just might lose your head over it.
So long.
I see you finally decided to relax. Have I ever told you I think you lead a very unhealthy life?
You've mentioned it.
Evidently not enough for you to take it to heart. Anyway, the whores are quite decent here.
Maybe some other time.
You worry me.
I wonder what Sheila's doing in Henselt's camp.
You're not alone, because she's wondering what you're doing at the king's side.
How do you know?
She asked me about you.
What did she want to know?
I have no idea. I realized right off she was sniffing, and told her she could smell my fingers if she wanted. But that'd be all she'd get.
And she gave up.
Mm-hmm. See how careful I am?
Have you tried to, approach Vess?
I've thought about it. On the one hand, I've never rogered a soldier, but on the other, the cling clang of steel against steel at an intimate moment could put off even the most attentive lover. Why do you ask?
I just like to know.
I heard you dueled each other.
You heard right?
You came out on top in the arena. Maybe you should try her in another setting.
Could be interesting, I guess.
Really? You slept with her?
Mm-hmm.
And how was she? Spill it!
Well, there was no cling-clang of steel. Heard anything about Letho?
They say he's hiding in the ravines. He's not alone.
I know.
I fail to comprehend exactly why you have it in for him. He escaped, so what? You're no king, and as such are hardly in danger.
I'm tired of having to explain that I'm not the Kingslayer.
Henselt believed you.
But he's still not sure, and I don't want him doing me any favors.
Let's say you catch him. What then?
I'll decide once I've heard him out, learned the truth. Maybe I'll see his point, or maybe I'll just cut off his head. Henselt's camp is abuzz with rumors about the events 3 years ago.
When you burn a sorceress at the stake, rumors spread faster than the seed of a lascivious baron.
I know you primarily value sorceresses for their firm busts, but I'm curious. What do you think of Sabrina Glevissig?
Sorceresses complain about feeling underappreciated, persecuted even. But let me tell you, Geralt, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. If they didn't meddle, they wouldn't be burned at the stake. They keep whining about the horrors that took place on Thanet Island, about the order of the world being destroyed. But let me ask you, who brought that about if not them and their scheming?
My memories and feelings seem inextricably linked. I seem to be recovering both. I believe Yennefer's alive, and I'll eventually find her.
Triss, Yennefer, that's some life you lead, my friend.
First off, we have no idea if Yennefer's still alive. Second, we have no idea if Triss is alive.
True. You seem to have 2 women, when in fact, you don't even have one.
Their kind doesn't die easily. I'll find Triss as soon as I've dealt with the assassin.
What about Yennefer?
I won't know what to do about her until I see her.
I'm from Stilton, in the Lavalets lands in Temeria.
A runaway, eh?
Piss off out of here.
You're talking to an elder, so show a little respect, you prick licker.
Respect for you? This is no place for crappers like you. Out, I said.
Aye, true. Join the pigs in the pen, that's your place.
Are you all right?
You'd best leave. Old Maverick ain't a good companion. Unless you're looking for someone to mock.
What I saw back there, that happen often? What's the problem?
I've bigger problems to deal with than the camp tramps. My nightmares have invaded my waking life. The spectres haunt and hunt me by day.
Come on. Nightmares are common. Start at the beginning.
One night, I walked to the riverside and sat there, staring at the stars. I must have fallen asleep. I dreamt of my birdie, her milk-white bosom, her gentle voice. I saw and heard her as if she sat beside me, and then that voice became a terrifying whisper. Curdled the blood in my veins. I opened my eyes, but the spectre remained. It went on talking, hovering over me, stretching its mitts out towards me. I felt a deathly chill, and then it happened.
What?
Never been a coward. At the fore and fierce in many battles. But a human's one thing, a spectre's another. No other way to put this. I shit myself. Out of fear. Pants right full by the time I got back to camp. Since then, they mock me. Call me the crapper.
I didn't see anyone mocking you. Well, except for those two drunks.
Then you haven't looked around well enough. I'm the laughing stock of the entire camp.
Why did you go to the beach?
During Henselt's last expedition, we stayed in a house there. My unit was on the lookout for Demoven's forces trying to cross the river. I just wanted to recall the old times.
So you took part in the campaign 3 years ago?
Took part? I barely escaped with my life. Leva, the brothel medic, saved me. Talk to her if you want to learn more. She knows everything about the camp.
What time did the spectre appear?
I went to the beach after my watch, so it must have been an hour before midnight. I've no idea how long I slept, but when I reached the camp, it was dawning in the east.
I'll deal with the spectre, but you should know a witcher's services don't come cheap.
My soldier's pay is meager. Got but a few coins in my pouch and some pipeweed. Will you do it for that?
All right. Are you Leva?
If you've got a growth of some sort and you're here for the salve, get in line.
Nothing of the sort this time. You were here during Henselt's previous expedition.
What of it?
I have some questions.
Be quick. Half of Henselt's nobility's waiting for this salve. They've all started pissing blood out of longing for the spouses they left at home.
Did many soldiers survive the battle 3 years ago?
But a handful. The rest were just vaporized. Those who could walk dragged those who couldn't. All the survivors were horribly burned.
I'm interested in that tower.
It's the remnant of a manor sacked long ago. They call it the Tower of Debauchery, since Madame Carol made camp at its foot.
The ravines around the camp, they don't look like they were shaped by nature.
They're proof of the great power sorceresses can summon. Sabrina's fireballs scarred the ground for many miles around the battlefield. 3 years back it was the home of Malgat, a healer, and his family. While he helped us tend the wounded, someone murdered his children. Malgat couldn't come to terms with the tragedy and threw himself into the river. The children were buried behind the house. Their graves should still be there.
I'll let you get back to treating all those brave fighting men.
You're not the one we seek, though his aura is strong, even on you.
Impossible. I watched Maverick wash his pants.
Who are you?
I'm a Witcher, and I'm here because you haunt an innocent man. You've ruined Maverick's life, and it's high time you left this world.
Maverick, innocent? That son of a bitch murdered me and my 2 sisters, then threw our bodies off the cliff. Our father, Malgat, died of despair. Fortunately, fate has brought Maverick here again, straight into our hands. Revenge shall be ours.
I need to find out if you're telling the truth. If your story checks out, I'll bring Maverick here.
Have you managed to do anything, Witcher?
The specters manifest themselves even when you're absent. They've burrowed deep into your subconscious. If I killed them now, they'd return instantly, so I need your help to destroy them.
If there's no other way, what would you ask of me?
Meet me at the beach, an hour before midnight. Come on, no reason to keep the specters waiting.
You've finally returned, brother. Time to atone for your evil deeds. You shall surrender to us your soul.
Kiss my arse, Phantom. You'll not make me shit myself this time. Me and the Witcher will dispatch you where you belong.
Naive little Maverick, made a fool of your entire life. Isn't that true, Geralt?
What are they talking about?
The specters say you're their brother, and you murdered them 3 years ago. What do you say?
How can you even ask? I'm a soldier, not a murderer!
Denying it is not enough. You need to prove your innocence, and I need to know the truth before I make my choice.
I never murdered anyone! I'm a soldier! I kill foes, not women!
I'll take your word over that of evil spirits. Now help me.
How many more can there be? I'll not forget what you did for me.
I did it for coin.
A small price for peace of mind.
Don't you owe me an explanation? I want to hear the truth.
I was born by the very border. General Vandergrift understood that I knew every blade of grass here. So he appointed me lead scout. We were based in my family's house.
This house?
One day I scouted beyond the river. When I returned, I found my father digging the graves behind the house.
What happened?
Honor was everything to him. He had brought us up, taught us principles, and then one day Aedirnian soldiers arrived and undid all that. Shamed his children. He could not stop himself. He swore he did not do it, but there was blood in his clothes. We fought. He fell from the cliff.
Why did the specters want your soul?
Maybe they've no tolerance for patricide.
Maybe. Now go back to camp and present proof of your valor. Take back your dignity.
Life can be really strange. I fought the Nilfgaardians a few years back. Now we make camp with the Black Ones.
Greetings, Geralt, in these humble foreign walls.
Greetings.
My heart rejoiced to see that dear old noggin of yours emerge from a sea of unknown faces.
I see you prefer the company of Vernon and his men.
The soldier in Henselt's camp looks at me like I'm a lump of rotten meat.
Do you think they suspect you of being a spy?
Who the fuck knows what's in their bloody heads? You know what? I regret I'm not a spy. I feel like the last bloody cunt here. Somewhere nearby, my brethren are sharpening their axes, just waiting for the fog to dissipate so they can blunt them on some kid when he necks.
You've been around. Heard anything about the Kingslayer?
Just that Henselt is shitting himself for fear that his head is about to be separated from his shoulders. For me, the assassin's hiding out in the ravines. An ideal place for his kind. Anyway, I've been wondering, why the fuck do you care so much about this cunt that you're so ready to stick your neck out to find him?
Because I'm innocent.
The wise know that. And I didn't think you'd trouble yourself about what the fools think.
As long as Letho is free, I'll remain a suspect. I can only prove my innocence by presenting the culprit. No other way.
What will you do when you find him?
We'll see when I talk to him, when I learn the truth. Maybe I'll see his point. And maybe I'll just cut off his head. All rested after the boat trip?
Don't remind me of that. My stomach churns at the very thought.
You could have traveled here on foot.
If I'd known it before days of rocking, I would have. And if they told me I'd be eating dried and salted cod 3 times a day, I'd have clobbered myself with my own hammer before boarding that boat.
You're spending all your time in Roach's camp. Have you two become chums?
Chums? That's a bit rich. But he doesn't piss me off as much as he used to. Either he's changed or I've grown accustomed.
Maybe both.
Maybe. Besides, the camp has loads of other attractions. His men cheat me at cards, and there's a tit or two to hang the gaze upon.
If that's what you're after, there's a regular whorehouse in Henselt's camp.
How can you compare a whore's tits to Vessi's? I could buy myself the others, but hers are just to be admired. I heard you had a bit of fun with Vess.
Did she tell you?
No. Is there anything to tell?
Ask her.
Oi, Witcher! Out in these wastelands hunting monsters? Well, if you see 2 of my men, tell them I'll rip them both brand new assholes if they miss muster.
What are they doing there?
It's a common malady. A day don't go by that some dimwit don't sneak out of the camp to go to the gullies.
They may never return.
Anything's possible. But I, for one, hope they just overdid it with the liquor and fell asleep in some bush.
We'll see if I come across anyone.
Luck be with you. You're a good fellow. Ah, find them and you'll see Corporal Zivik knows how to be grateful.
Die.
Oi! What you doing here?
I heard Zivik can't wait for you to get back.
Plough it all. If we miss muster, he'll have us flogged. Get us out of here, will ya?
You came here on your own. You can get back on your own.
This place is crawling with drowners. I mean, we'd have stayed in our tents on our arses if we'd known. We're safe in the circle, but 3 feet outside, and who knows what would happen.
All right, we'll go back together, but let me look around first. Apparently, it's bad luck to tread on the ashes. Who cares enough to bring all these things here? Strange aura. Let's take a closer look. Carved from a solid piece of stone. Reusable, you could say. Candles, amulets, coins. People make offerings here like they would at a shrine. Candles. The stench is worse than Zoltan's boots. Nothing unusual about them otherwise. Square coins adorned with a fish. I guess the plotters like to come here. Let's see. An unnatural stillness typical of intersections and places where streams of the power meet, unnerving but harmless. People seem to be staying away from the wheel. They're afraid. All the gifts are at a safe distance from it. Except for one person. With Kaedweni army issue boots. Glad to know I'm not the only one to desecrate this site. Animal tracks. Dogs, wolves, bears, even birds. You'd think this was a feeding ground, but they all fear the circle. Except for cats. Their tracks are everywhere. One even napped on the pedestal. Triss once told me cats like to sleep on intersections, and they're the only beasts apart from dragons who can draw the power. They clearly like this place. Sabrina was nailed to this wheel. Something protected the wheel from the flames. It's hardly scorched. Fresh holes and splinters. Someone's pulled nails from the wheel recently. I better take one, just in case. I need to bring the king here. I need to reenact the execution. If I can only summon Sabrina's ghost, I could force her to lift the curse. The Draugrs and the mist will remain, but at least the king will be safe. I need to know what happened here. Witnesses of the execution, they're the key. If I can just find out how Sabrina died, I should be able to free Henselt of the curse. 2 leads. Sabrina's cultists and the nail thief who's obviously immune to the aura of this place. Time to question some soldiers.
You've looked and touched your fill, right? Let's get out of here.
Did you light those candles?
We did.
What's it to you?
From what I've seen, it's not safe here.
The beasts are too scared to come near the circle.
Maybe, but you gotta leave the circle to return to camp.
Help us get back!
If you all know this area is infested with monsters, why the hell did you come here?
On a kind of pilgrimage to visit the circle.
Feel their eyes on you. They're watching us. We won't get out alive, superstitious idiots that we are.
Don't you believe the visionary? You don't have to. But it was worth a try, right?
Old idiot. It's his fault we ended up here.
Who is this visionary?
He's behind all this. He talks of miracles in the circle.
I believe him. Know why? He lives deep in the valleys, but something protects him from all those harpies.
Did you see them burn the sorceress?
3 years ago. We both served under Henselt then, but only the 5th Company guarded the stake.
They say the king never wanted to make a spectacle. Some soldiers never come here, but others visit the circle to check the remains.
You're just like them. To you, it's only a superstition to make money from. You're looking for old nails in the ashes.
Like that shitbag who trades outside the inn.
You're mistaking me for someone else.
Really? Then give us the nails.
I'm keeping it.
Keeping it? Not heard what they say. Relics are like fist tech for simple folk.
How did you manage to avoid the drowners on your way here?
The visionary was with us. He led us through, then left.
I don't like this place.
Thought you'd want to stay the night here.
I know at least a few places I'd rather sleep. Come on.
Beats me why they've been fighting over these hellholes for generations.
I get goosebumps every time I go outside the palisade.
Guess Civic was right. We should have sat on our arses.
You'll be whistling a different tune when the mist lifts and we attack Vergen.
The visionary's a right bastard leaving us here.
I believe him. He says he hears voices.
My nan heard voices too. Her mouth would froth up like a dog's and she'd shit all over. When my old man couldn't take it anymore, he axed the hag to death.
Shut your gob. Curses on him! If it wasn't for you, they'd have eaten us.
We owe you our lives, Witcher. We can't let Zivik catch us.
Don't shit your pants. Sabrina saved us from the monsters. So what's one little Zivik to her?
What do you want, Witcher?
The soldiers you were looking for, they got held up for a while at Sabrina's circle.
Oh, the idiots! To be duped by witchcraft and superstitions. I'll put them to scrubbing the latrines indefinitely. But I thank you for bringing them back. Your reward, as promised.
From what I can see, you and the men love your king.
He's like a father to us, really. Comes around from time to time, chats it up, pats you on the mug. Remembers our names, too, though you gots to earn that in battle. Been so distinguished 3 times already. Pride myself on it.
I'm sure it's a great honor for a humble soldier like yourself.
Last time it happened, we was on the march. Some peasant poisoned his well. A few of our lads died, many others got sick. I pacified that village. We hit them so hard, we even struck fear into our own boys. They went without a row for 2 days, and the king was very pleased. He came around, gave me a friendly punch in the gut, laughed and said, "You are one true son of a bitch. If you'd not been born among swine, you'd probably be king." That's how he is. Humane and all. He's really got a heart.
I heard there's a man living outside the camp known as the Visionary. Ever met him?
The soldiers talk about him, but I've never seen him. If I ever do, he'll regret that he fooled my people with all those superstitions.
Did you see Sabrina's execution?
Wish I could have, but only the 5th Company was sent there. She deserved it. What she did to the boys. Believe me, I've seen a lot of monstrosities in my life. My brother died during a coup in Rhind when a mage boiled the blood in his veins. Also, I once saw a soldier raping a dead elf woman. But 3 years ago, people melted like lead. Something you can't forget, Witcher.
There's a soldier by the inn selling scraps from Sabrina's execution site.
I know. The damned quartermaster. This business of his muddles the minds of the soldiers. Suddenly, everyone believes a splinter in your pocket will protect you in battle. Half-wits.
After what happened here 3 years ago, it's no surprise they're terrified.
I'll tell you one thing, Witcher. In combat, I can count on my shield, my armor, and my comrades, if they still live. Many of those boys will die in Vergen, even with their pockets stuffed with mystical splinters that cost a silver piece each. I want them to be afraid. When steel hits steel, I want them to be alert, damn it! If they're dumb and put their trust in rusty nails and ashes, they won't have a hope in hell.
Did you participate in the battle?
I did, and I fought. But I'd rather not go into it.
The spirits of those who died in battle are now in combat on that field. They kill each other and change into nasty creatures called Draugrs. Aedirnians, Kaedwenis, even your comrades. I want to help them, but I have to know what happened during the battle.
Oh, the plague. Listen, then. The fighting started in the afternoon. The Dun Banner was first to attack. We were ambushed, cut off from our main unit and devastated. Bloody scouts and Sabrina Glevissig, who was supposed to mind the battlefield. By then, the battle was in full swing. Wherever you see those damned furrows, people fought there. The Aedirnian lines faltered a few times, but we couldn't crush them because of Seltkirk. Yes, we had the Visitor. They had Seltkirk of Gullet, the invincible White Knight, Edirn's finest swordsman. Wherever our forces gained the upper hand, he'd appear and reverse the fighting's course. Then, Vandegrift himself went into battle. He met Seltkirk in the middle of the melee. It was a battle of titans. In the end, the Visitor hacked Seltkirk and sliced the White Knight from his head to his balls. Then, death fell from the heavens. Lumps of burning soil flew through the air. The whole valley was on fire. Damned magic of a damned witch! I owe my life to Priest Crest, our chaplain. He led me out of the battle and went back for the others. He had a medallion that protected him against fire. He led everyone out, including the Aedirnians. But the flames got him in the end.
You mentioned the priest.
A really good man. He was with us the whole time. during the march, in the barracks, and in battle, among common soldiers. Freya gave him a medallion to protect him from fire. I don't know how true that is, but he led me and many others to safety.
Who has this medallion?
King Henselt. I saw it once. I don't know how he got hold of it, but he definitely had it.
Were you at Brenna?
Ah, yes. Cut down more Black Ones there than anywhere else. The Redanians were in disarray on the left when we joined the battle. Same with the Temerian regiments in the middle. We arrived just in time. Menno Cohorn commanded the Nilfgaardians. He was some leader. Even we feared him like fire. But somehow we prevailed.
What happened to him afterwards?
He refused to flee, died like many others. Though no one knows who did it, and no one ever found his corpse.
What happened before the battle?
We forded the Pontar on the third day after the autumn equinox. The Aedirnians were waiting for us, formed up in a long line at the foot of those hills. I remember the banners of Vengerberg, Aldersburg, Gullet. Knights, armoured infantry, peasants, the Vergen Dwarf Regiment. All save the king. They numbered more than 5,000. General Vandegrift, commander of the Kedwennies, had less than 4,000, including the elite Bearheads, armoured troops from Ard Caraig, and the famous White Foxes of the North. And ourselves, the Dun Banner, veterans of Brenner, hated by the Aedirnians more than the plague. But above all, we had Vandegrift the Visitor. Maybe he was a bastard, but he knew war like nobody else.
Did you see the duel between Seltkirk and Vandegrift?
From a distance. At the time I was on that hill, and they were somewhere over there. The field used to be as flat as a table. It was their second duel. Earlier, in peacetime, they'd met at a tournament in Ard Caraig. Seltkirk won then. Vandegrift's sword cracked and the Visitor had to yield. After the tournament, he had a new sword forged by Kedwen's best mages and swordsmiths. That's how Loathan came to be.
I think that means hatred in the Elder language. Pretty pretentious.
They say a sorcerer cast a spell on the sword and told Vandegrift the blade wouldn't crack as long as he remained invincible. The mage got 50 lashes and was the last to mention any such nonsense.
Who has Vandegrift's sword now?
When the Sea of Flames died out, the looters ran amok. They found Seltkirk's chainmail, which survived somehow. Maybe it was magical too. Vandegrift's sword went missing. The boys in the camp claim the female dragon slayer has it, but I wouldn't even try talking to her.
Who's got Seltkirk's chainmail?
A certain Vincent Trott. Low nobility, in the army since forever, a greedy bastard.
Where can I find him?
That's a problem. Deathmold wanted him arrested after they found a square coin on him. Some of the officers and noblemen want to get rid of the Black Ones. They don't like how they lord it around the camp, even though the king talks to them. Those coins are their sign, the stupid bunch of plotters. Anyway, Vincent's a swashbuckler. He thrashed Deathmold's people and disappeared. Those with the coins won't say a word because they're scared of Deathmold.
Do I have this right? You served in the Dun Banner?
Did indeed. Henselt's never commanded a fiercer group of warriors, and he never will. If not for us, there'd have been no victory for the North at Brenner. We carried the day.
I didn't see the Dun Banner in the camp.
And you won't. The unit's no more. Ensign Eckhart Hennessy carried the standard into battle for the last time 3 years ago.
Glevisig's magic?
Worse. The Aedirnian troops, the bastards. The Dun Banner, the pride of Kedwen, lost its standard and almost all its men. The Visitor refused to send us reinforcements when we were cut off. The Dun must prevail. It's been in worse shite than this. The Dun will be all right. 7 Aedirnians to each one of us. We had no fucking hope. 200 men went into battle and less than 70 came back. But that's not all. Only a few survived to this day. The boys couldn't handle it. Suicide, firewater, fist tech.
A few became highwaymen. They ended up on the gallows or in ditches. Memories can also kill you, and soldiers don't always deal with them well.
I have to find that standard.
I heard it lies in the catacombs neath Vergen, alongside my mates. Hey, if you're thinking of going there, I ought to give you my beaver skin cap. That's its rightful place.
Thanks, Civic. So long.
No talking to the prisoner! How'd you do? What do you want?
Get anything important out of him?
Not really. We salted his wounds, broke his fingers, scorched his feet. But he didn't so much as peep his own name. Tried to bite off his own tongue, in fact. Them elves like a bit of suffering, methinks.
Maybe he's hoping to be rescued.
Not likely. Someone massacred them. The whole unit. That's what the Royal Mages asked him about. Who it was, and where they are now. There's no understanding elves. If he answered, we'd hang him quickly. It'd have peace. But he prefers to suffer.
How did you catch him?
We didn't. Nothing to boast of, really. We found him. Barely alive.
He was lying in the ravines among the corpses of other squirrels. Terrible bloodbath it was.
As if a mad medic slashed him with a giant scalpel. Aiming at their arteries, no less. For there was blood everywhere. Nasty splashes even high up in the rocks.
When was this?
Before that ghastly fog appeared.
Can I talk to him?
You're all right. I've heard you've been helping our lads. Talk away, but be quick. If the corporal sees you, he'll have your balls. And ours.
Bloody fatgirl! What do you want?
Information. You from Yorvith's unit?
I'm proud of it! Yorvith will avenge me.
Maybe. I'm responsible for you being captured.
I don't understand.
I warned Yorvith that the Kingslayer had betrayed him. Your leader's alive because of me.
You lie! You're not one of us.
Never claimed to be. I'm not interested in your fight, nor in that of the humans. I have my own goals. I'm hunting the Kingslayer and need information. Will you help me?
I'd rather not reveal anything to the Dwan. Do you know Elder Speech? De Thurmen en Mirendan Hest. Ev de Sale emes up de Mevne Slet.
Sea Heath.
En Ted verletho ken en sterp dun vernea wert. Te dreie et Dwan. Seret en ox wat gern est. Denna Arthur nek wert. Visse egen. Erle egen. Ken hat mer. Denna dar emen dunv. Dak mamert.
Ken denna de arme hest.
Denna neerserla vid sala in esne geert. Veneer senden el.
De arme. Ne segen hier. Ele serum.
Mekian behented fen essert. Seret nea ura jasenhet. Tep orks garthe seget enith rothen kem hest. Te mothe dialm.
Rathain? Que diables Rathain verderel?
Veseneth rothen deren henselt gerel vurte hen. Den diarme elestrea hen. Ne mer se health.
Vekele elethene hest came.
Ja me herth. Este verth epkethen ken hest.
Quintes ken.
Den kean velt dorvat gern.
Vekean me venetres.
En hert epkianje esme gethverth. Se este en kien diable ars kied. Ken jesse thith treach.
Mesem treach led. Vafer.
Quen erle wat gerne hennelinge ken.
Nemesecht.
Oxen and Seret est Eleken. Vel merth Gwynblade Kenneth Belk. Vedden emeth Gwynblade. Say at the step Gathis en Treth Winnis. Vafel. Camp's gone berserk looking for the coins. Need some help, Monster Slayer?
I want to talk, Dog of War.
I've heard much about you, Witcher. Greetings.
Greetings, Captain. Is Henselt paying you to wait?
Curiosity itching you, Witcher. Not the best trait to have in wartime.
You don't have to tell me if you don't want to.
Deathmole's given us silver-plated weapons and protective amulets. On your advice, as I heard it. We're to observe the mist and, if need be, drive off the wraiths.
Since you're already watching it, pay attention to the size of the cloud. I need to know if it's expanding.
Well...
How fast?
It's almost imperceptible, but it's constant. A foot, perhaps 2 a day. What does that mean?
Means I have to hurry. How many mercenaries you got watching the fog?
I've got them spread out in small groups around campfires. And how many we number? Well, that's my concern alone.
Does Henselt pay his mercenaries well? Call it professional curiosity on my part.
It's no secret a lump sum of 20,000 Novigrad crowns awaits. To be divvied up between those who survive.
So the more of you die, the greater the take per head.
Yes.
Were you here 3 years ago during the last battle for Vergen?
Bradley's Blue Banner was. They were decimated by mages. The survivors enlisted with us. They weren't eager to talk about it, and we didn't press them.
No lack of work for your kind.
Mercenary might just be the surest profession these days. Sign of the times.
I heard you gained fame during the wars with Nilfgaard.
Our fees have doubled since the Battle of Brenna. As it turns out, it was worth risking our necks.
I wouldn't mind learning some details about Brenna from someone who played first fiddle there.
Constable Natalis commanded the Nordlings. The Nilfgaardians mounted a vicious attack. And if not for us and the Dun Banner, the collected armies of the North probably would have shattered into bits. Luckily, we showed up at the right time, withstood the assault and came out victorious. We earned every last copper we were paid. 50,000 Nilfgaardians shattered their teeth trying to bite at us. Menno Colhorn, their commander-in-chief, chose death over humiliation. Like in every battle, it was a question of timing, taking advantage of the foe's missteps, and a bit of luck.
Must be fatiguing, fighting all the time.
I took a little time off recently, something along the lines of a honeymoon. But I like my craft, and I'm not afraid to admit it.
I knew one of your kind once. Woman by the name of Rayla.
Killed by an elf's treacherous arrow. She made a mistake. Let her emotions take control. This profession requires cold calculation.
Let's talk arm wrestling.
Go on.
Bartholomew Bargy sends his regards.
Bart Bargy. I remember him. Strong for a peasant.
For a peasant. They say you're the strongest arm around here.
You wouldn't be talking to me otherwise.
How's that?
During the Battle of Brenna, I got into a knife fight with an Nilfgaardian commander. That's to say, he had the knife and I had my bare hands. I grabbed him by the wrist, but the blade kept coming towards my throat. He was strong, but lacked stamina. When I felt him weaken, I twisted his arm around and slit his throat. I've worked on my hands, wrists, and arms since then. They all come in handy in my profession.
Wanna wrestle me?
To challenge Adam Pangret for the championship, you've got to beat the best contenders. You've defeated them all, so we can wrestle whenever you're ready. As you're a witcher and I'm a mercenary, neither of us should wrestle for free.
I'm ready.
Lucky that Nilfgaardian at Brenna wasn't as strong as you. Or Adam Pangrat would be a heap of white bones right now.
Lucky for you we were only playing for coin.
I venture to say there's only one man who stands a chance against you. Numa.
Numa? What kind of name is that?
He's a circus artist. The mighty Numa, they call him. Apparently he grips like a vice. But word has it he cheats.
How?
Performance-enhancing potions. The undetectable kind.
I'll be sure to seek him out someday.
You'd know best if he's using his muscles or alchemy.
Look what the cat dragged in.
We need to talk.
What? No, hello, good morning. Pucker up and kiss my ass, nothing.
Hello.
Good morning, White Wolf. Will you take some tea? It's a fortifying beverage.
Some other time, maybe. Spoken to the king yet?
Indeed, he was delighted to hear he can be cut from the curse.
Great, because I need the medallion of the priest known as Crest. I heard it's in Henselt's possession.
He'll give you nothing until you free him from the curse. Truthfully, I believe I understand him. You have a good chance of perishing when you confront the Draugrs.
Give me a break, Deathmold. The two of you are just afraid I'll leave this entire mess in your hands.
Ah, that is something I do not fear at all, for I know exactly why you're here. As for the king, you may curse him and scold him and call him a fool if you wish, though it's not something I would advise.
Does the name Vincent Trott sound familiar?
A traitor. He did some damage in my ranks. 1 dead and 2 still in the field hospital. If you know where he's hiding, I've some issues I'd like to discuss with him. The tools are already in the fire, but the rogue seems to have donned an invisibility cap.
I believe he has Seltkirk's armor, one of the artifacts.
My investigation's at a dead end. I know not where he is, and I'll soon need to resort to more radical methods.
Hold off a bit longer. If he escapes...
There's no way to do so. My people guard the ford, and I doubt our brave Vincent could make it past the spectres. He must be nearby.
Learn anything new about the curse?
The mage on the other side of the fog is also probing the battlefield. A sorceress.
How do you know?
You shall know them by the fruit of their spells. Magic differs with the brain type that generates it. The female mind is simply laid out differently.
It could be Triss.
No, Witcher, it's someone far more powerful.
You must know a lot about the Wild Hunt, as one of the reigning majesties among mages.
I simply cannot concern myself with folk tales about corpses flying about on intensely emaciated steeds.
The Wild Hunt's no myth. I need magic powder to mark out the runes.
Are you aware that the formula requires powdered camphor resin?
I am.
Then you must also know that the resin is extremely valuable.
Get Henselt to pay you. I need the powder to do the exorcism, reverse the prophecy, and release him from the curse.
You should have said, I'll give you as much as you need.
Thanks, on the king's behalf.
I've one more thing you might find useful.
What's that?
You asked me for protective runes. I've done better. Take this grimoire, which details many. I believe there's even one for syphilis. I've marked my recommendations.
Thanks. Can you make anything out of these notes, sorcerer?
Where did you get them?
Unimportant.
And you've no notion what's in them?
Wouldn't be asking if I did.
They describe a very dangerous ritual. Practically pure necromancy. The sort that gets you burned at the stake.
Be specific. What kind of ritual?
One to summon the soul of an evil man. A man evil enough to wander the world after death. Souls of this kind gladly enter into covenants in the hope of being sent into the beyond.
Why would anyone want to deal with evil?
The possible reasons are many. You'll always find people willing to sell their souls in exchange for something valuable to them. I'll gladly buy the scroll.
I thought necromancy was forbidden.
Oh, it is, but I'm an avid collector of manuscripts containing forbidden knowledge.
I think I'll keep it. Maybe I can become a collector myself. The plotters. I know where they meet.
I knew I could count on you.
Is that enough for you then?
One can tell a real man not by how he begins, but by how he finishes.
What else do you want from me?
I shall give you 4 of my men who'll be near at hand and provide backup if something goes awry. They'll stay out of sight until summoned. Bring me one of the plotters alive. I have many questions. I must know who's behind all this.
What do you desire, my hero?
I want your smile to part the gates of paradise.
Come with me.
Vincent Trott, you're a little elusive.
Here alone. Not wise, Witcher.
We'll see about that.
I'm wearing Selkirk's armor, you know. Pretty much renders me invincible in a duel.
Give me the chainmail and I'll forget everything. Whistling Wendy, your plot. I know about the coins.
You're Deathmole's hound. I don't trust you.
You don't need to. I just need the chainmail. Not interested in anything else.
I'm to remove it?
And hand it over.
Then you'll be on your way.
And all will be well.
Doesn't sound like my kind of story. How's this instead? I'll kill you, take your swords and gold, and the gods will rain good fortune upon me for ridding them of a filthy mutant. Die!
Spy! Kill him!
Search the bodies. Huh. Nothing useful here. They must have been pawns. Report back to Deathmold. I found a letter addressed to the people of Kedwen.
A letter? So?
It's your drivel, idiot.
Where'd you get that idea?
I know you. Not to mention you had the gall to quote me.
You're not the only Witcher in the world.
So, you admit it's yours?
Sure, it's mine. People have had enough of that pompous clown colluding with Nilfgaard. I decided I needed to open their eyes a little wider.
Any idea what that pompous clown's going to do when he finds out who's opening his people's eyes?
How would he find out? It could only come from you, and I assume, at least I hope, you won't rat me out.
They're going to kill you.
Nah.
Why did you poke your nose in this?
Henselt approached me to write a few panegyrics about him. You know, singing his praises. Can you imagine that? Me? Writing a political pamphlet? Who the hell does he think I am?
But that's exactly what this letter is.
Possibly. But it's for a good cause. Henselt's a prick.
Look what the cat dragged in.
I found Trott and a few other enthusiasts of the square coins.
Did you learn who leads them?
No.
Any survivors?
No.
Oh, you might at least have spared Trott. I'm sure he had secrets.
Any reward for the conspirators?
Indeed. A nice round sum per head.
I could use the gold.
How many were there?
Vincent and 5 others.
You killed 6 men! You and your kind should be isolated.
The reward?
Is yours. Here.
For Sabrina, who died on the pyre! Help us! Thanks for... We were on our way to see the Visionary, bearing gifts and all. But I'll be damned if I'll take one more step that way. Wouldn't be on your way to see him, would you? If you are, give him this coin for us. Do what you will.
Quick! You'll be safe here! We're safe here. I awaited them. They were to come bearing gifts. I heard their cries. Guess they were attacked. If they're not here, they must be dead.
No, they're alive. They didn't want to risk it anymore, went back to camp. They asked me to give you this coin, for candles.
This is but half. Why, I'll not do more than braid some wicks for this. What do you want from me? I'll not believe you came here by chance.
Yeah, you're right. I need to learn some things, and few are willing to talk. Sabrina Glevisig's story, that's what interests me most.
Listen, I'll not speak with you until I get my coin. Pure and simple. Though I do provide charitable help to the faithful, if you were to become one of them.
I've heard a lot of good things about you. All right, I'll become a follower.
Wonderful. Listen then, for I'll not say this twice. If your intentions are pure, you will do as I ask. Each convert must pass a test. You will spend the night at the old chapel near Sabrina's pupils.
Where?
Twin Lakes I have named in her honor.
Is that all?
Before you kneel to meditate, you will drink the mixture I shall give you. You must then remember all that occurs. That's very important, as you'll need to recount it to me fully.
All right, I'll come back once I'm done. I'm too old for this. Don't know that anybody needs to know about that one.
Huh? What other matters?
Why do you need so many candles? Why not build a campfire?
This is Sabrina's flame. Its light protects us and guides us soldiers every step.
Did you rob a convoy of wax sellers?
I make the candles myself. I give them to anyone looking for protection within the flame of courage.
The valley's been engulfed by a battle of specters. Know anything about it?
It's a place of horror. You can still hear the sound of steel and the cries of the dying. If you want to soothe their pain, you have to believe that Sabrina is watching over you benevolently.
I won't achieve anything without some memory tokens. Magically active conduits left by those who fell in battle. They're supposed to symbolize faith, courage, hatred, and death.
Faith? I don't know what those soldiers believed, but their faith didn't help them. They were deceived. Courage, hatred, and death? There was too much of all of them, especially death. But I remember a knight who, ignoring the danger, led a handful of soldiers against overwhelming enemy forces. Seltkirk of Gullet, Demavend's champion. When Vandergrift's cohort cut him off from the rest of the army, he attacked the visitor fearlessly. If you're looking for a symbol of courage, find Selkirk's armor.
Who are you?
Our descendants will decide who we were when they see what we've left behind.
Who were you before?
What does it matter? Let the sins of youth fade into oblivion. Look at the candlelight. Feel it, and you'll hear what it has to say to you.
I can't hear a thing.
Then you're not ready. But your time will come. You will then hear and understand. Trust me.
I did what you asked.
Tell me what you saw.
You may think I'm as mad as you are, but in my vision I walked through a forest where the trees were huge mushrooms and a giant chicken walked between them, pecking at the underbrush.
You have no idea how happy I am. I've been having this vision of a giant hen among mammoth mushrooms for weeks. I thought I'd lost it, gone insane. Turns out my herbs must have gone off. I'll need to gather new ones, but that's my concern. Ask me what you will.
You must know a lot about Sabrina Glevisig's death.
Sabrina the Martyr left the world of the living to protect us all.
Did you hear about the curse Sabrina cast on the king?
Of course. A well-deserved punishment, a ghostly spell from her crimson lips. The king concocted a cruel fate for the sorceress, humiliated her, made her suffer the flames. Bound to a wheel and placed on the stake, she suffered in a way unimaginable to ordinary humans. But when the flame reached her maiden waist, not a single cry could be heard, only words foretelling King Hensel's imminent demise. Let a shooting star split the heavens and mark its mortal journey with a braid of blood. Let fools be duped by the sight of fish scales, turned by magic into square pieces of gold. Let the unicorn violate 1,000-year-old rules, prompting a just punishment. Sabrina suffered so badly that a merciful soldier ended her torment, thrusting his spear into her aching heart.
Why the candles? What's the difference between Sabrina and other mages burned at the stake?
Others were strong in life. Her power bloomed when death wrapped its steely arms around her. She took the soldier who ended her suffering under her kind care. He never had to fear walking alone in the dark again. Have you seen the area? It's full of beasts and monstrosities. Jahan, the merciful soldier, has walked in the blaze of our power ever since. No creature born of darkness can get close to him.
Now, back to some other matters. Tell me again what you know about Sabrina.
What exactly do you want to know?
Any chance of finding that spear?
It was so long ago, Witcher. But I believe the spear went to another soldier. The bugger sells relics from Our Lady by the Camp Inn.
So long.
Relics, artifacts, trinkets and talismans, hallowed and highly valuable.
Did you see Sabrina's execution?
Sure I did. I was in the 5th Company. I remember the commotion when that idiot Jahan killed her with a spear. If only I had that spear now.
You know Jahan well?
He despises me now, but things used to be different. We were called up at the same time. We fought under Hensel together. But I managed somehow while he hated it. Why did they send him to that ferocious battle? He was the worst dumbass in the entire army, but he outlived the best soldiers. Covered in shit, piss, snot and tears, and still he survived. He cracked when they burned Sabrina. A beautiful end to a fucking beautiful day. Then he went to the dogs. He pissed away all he had on drink. I was the fool who followed him and brought everything he pawned around the inns. That's how I got the spear.
I know you have the spear Yahan used to pierce Sabrina's heart.
I told you about that, and I thought the old freak was trying to forget the sins of his past.
I need that spear.
Tough luck, Witcher. I last saw it a few years back.
What happened to it?
Look how similar we are. You want knowledge, I want coin, and we both need help to get what we want.
How much?
What are your customary takings on a contract? I'll gladly accept but 1/2 of that.
The fate of your king depends on that spear.
All right, since you put it that way. You see, when Yahan lost his head for Sabrina, I bought the spear from the innkeeper. The donkey's ass pawned it in the inn. He drank like a fish. By then, Yahan had already hidden in the hills, where no one dares to venture. Some call him the Visionary, but in my book he's just a nutter. Beats me why the beasts don't attack him. A fisherman who supplies the canteen said that some monsters hate the smell of fish oil. Yahan makes candles out of it.
What did you do with the spear?
Sorry to say I lost it in a dice game. Shame, because today it'd fetch a good price. I lost the spear to a soldier who later fought the squirrels in the forests of the Pontar Valley. He told me he'd used it to kill some Scoia'tael big shot. I heard the shaft cracked as if there'd been some fucking jousting tournament. The most interesting thing is that big shot is still alive. I heard he's now with that vixen from Edirn. Some frigging commander. Elves are weird creatures. Who knows, maybe he still has that spearhead.
Iorveth.
You know him?
I'll tell you for 100 orens.
Bah!
Do you remember the sorceress Sabrina?
Same as all the others. Looked like a young nympho, but an old hag inside. You want to talk about her? See that freak who burns candles?
I found footprints at Sabrina's execution site. Do you know anything about that?
Why would I? You found them, not me.
Yet your boots are black from ash.
Shh. All right. What do you want to know?
Do you believe in the power of your merchandise?
You mean the relics? Others believe in them, that's what counts. They'll believe in anything that gives them hope. Soldiers shit their pants and throw up in fear before going into battle. If kissing a rusty nail gives them courage, then in my book, it works.
I'm interested in objects that belong to the soldiers who perished in the battle 3 years ago. Not any old things. They have to be magically active. I know how to check.
That's not my speciality, Witcher. I deal in relics.
Look what the cat dragged in.
I think I know how to free the king from his curse.
Well then, let's get to work.
Can't do anything until I have the spear the soldier stabbed Sabrina with. Problem is, it's in the hands of a Scoia'tael commander named Iorveth.
I know this Iorveth. Are you certain this is the spear?
I last saw him back in Flotsam.
Iorveth is in Vergen, Witcher. Along with most of the Scoia'tael from the area, they've joined that peasant girl's insurgency.
Iorveth part of a peasant uprising? It doesn't make sense.
There's only one way to confirm or disprove it. You must cross to the other side of the mist. What of the other artifacts? Do you know them all now?
Not yet.
In that case, you must wait until you've learned everything before crossing. It's a dangerous voyage, not one to attempt twice, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I'd say. I've got to get through the mist, or I can't lift the curse.
I shall supply the white flag when you set out as our emissary. The lass is reputedly honourable. She'll welcome you, invite you to a feast, and with a bit of luck you may even plough her.
You're sick, Deathmold.
They say she's very pretty. Peasant girls not to your liking?
Not your concern.
In case the elves lack an understanding of diplomatic symbolism, please also take this armor. With His Majesty's blessing, I might add.
A king's concern can be boundless when his life depends on that of another.
I spent some time working on this recently. This little marvel will guide you through the fog and provide a measure of protection from the spectres.
Thanks. See you.
Greetings, Master Witcher.
Good to see you, you old rogue.
Why the long face, Zoltan?
Everything's fucked.
The only sight worse than a sad dwarf is the sight of a very sad dwarf.
I don't suppose you have any vodka?
I see things are worse than I thought.
I feel like a monkey in a cage. Those pricks act as if they've never seen a dwarf before.
If you need a change of climate, come with me. I'm on my way to Vergen.
You say that as if you're going to the brothel round the corner. Forgetting about the spectres?
I may have amnesia, but I remember the curse.
Well, all I get around here is non-human midget and the like. And I've dwarven brethren on that side. Sure as shit, I'll take Saskia over that prick Hensel too. You really willing to help me cross?
Of course.
You know, Geralt, I have a feeling that Vergen's where I should be.
I get you. Let's go.
How do you plan to get through the fog? Thought it was suicide to venture into it.
Deathmold gave me a protective amulet.
Throw it out! I wouldn't touch anything belonging to that dick.
I had a choice. Navigate the fog with an amulet or without it. Seemed safer with.
You're the expert on that magic shite, I guess?
Just trust me and stay close.
Oh, what the hell. Better the devil you know. I'll come with you. It's a dog's life, Geralt, I'll tell you that much.
Tough crossing ahead of us, Sultan. I see the path. The amulet is guiding us.
You sure?
We can't be sure of anything in this fog.
Oh, you could have lied to make me feel better. Never again. Fucking fog.
Look at it this way. You'll be able to brag about seeing the ghostly fog from the inside for the rest of your life.
I'd rather brag about how I ploughed 3 wenches at once in my youth.
Kill him!
Adon! Stop! You're making a mistake!
A mistake? Interesting. There's a war on, don't know if you've noticed. And wars are won by killing foes. Or do I have it all wrong?
The Witcher's a messenger. On his way to see Saskia.
Not your typical messenger.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but we had to pass through an atypical fog in which your typical messenger would have shit just before he...
Enough! We'll not let you inside Vergen. But you can deliver your message to the commander of the watch. He's stationed by the town gates.
Ploughing typical elf. Come on, Geralt.
Hello there. Greetings. Why, it's Geralt of Rivia and Zoltan Chive. Pinch me, Burden, for I believe I've dozed off while on duty.
Could be an illusion, eh? Or some spectres from the battlefield have lost their way. Maybe we ought to tickle them with an axe, just to be sure.
I'm afraid there's no mage out there who can conjure up the Witcher's mug, nor the aroma of Zoltan's beer-soaked beard.
Yarpin Zigrin! Lice eat me if I'm not delighted to see that horrid mug of yours.
This lad here's scaling Burden. Geralt, what are you doing standing there as if you've swallowed a halberd? Got a hug for an old mate?
Greetings. Triss has told me a lot about you.
Wee Marigold? Ha! How is the lass? Let me tell you, Scalen, this here Witcher's the very embodiment of chivalry. All the Selkirks of the world can't hold a candle to him. And you know why?
No, but I got a feeling we're about to find out.
Me? A knight? I'd sooner call Zoltan a show dancer.
Well then, listen everyone. At the time, we were escorting Caedweni army convoys through the Sherwood forests. Aye, we served Henselt once, though all was for coin. Anyways, the Witcher was on the road as well, with Triss and Ciri, heading south. The lass, I tell you, was a demoness incarnate. Pure pepper on her feet, and healthy as a horse. But the sorceress fell ill. Some terrible pestilence held her, gave her the runs. The woman needed to go every 5 minutes. Never seen anything like it. And I've had my share of gut rumblings. This one time, I roasted an old ailing gerbil and...
Oi! You promised us a chivalrous tale.
And I'm delivering it, lad. In any case, the Witcher would carry her into the bushes time after time. He treated and cared for her, cleaned her, bathed her.
Sounds normal to me. A man looking after his woman. It's too much to call it chivalrous, Yarpen.
Ah, wrong. Triss weren't his woman. Not his wife nor lover. She was sick and in need of aid. And he was on a secret mission. Might have left her in some city, might have gone off on his own, but he didn't. Know why? Because he's got a heart of gold. He truly cares. A lad like you, Scalen, don't know that being a knight's not just about thrashing around in full plate, a long sword in hand. It's not just about fighting duels and winning tournaments.
Damn! I missed hearing your bullshit, Zigran.
I don't believe anyone else has tried to tell me that story.
How is the wee Marigold, anyway?
Not great. The Kingslayer kidnapped her.
Oh, damn the dogs! That's downright terrible.
I suppose it's no coincidence you're here.
I have to see Saskia.
To what end?
To dispel the mist of wraiths, I need a few magic artifacts.
What's Saskia got to do with that?
Her sword is one of those items.
And what do you suggest I do? Yorvith and Saskia banned us from letting strangers in. And here are two old mates come over from the other side who want just that. A lose-lose situation if ever I've seen one.
That ought to be easy to get around.
Cow pies ought to be easy to get around, yet we don't always succeed.
I'm staying here, Yarpen. I want to join you, enlist. Will you have me in the Dwarven Brigade?
Will I have you, Chiefy? Will I plough and have you? Why, I'll make you fucking commander, you cocksucker! Problem solved. Scalen, you're my witness. Zoltan's no longer a stranger.
Aha.
Alright. Now I'll introduce you to Saskia, and you can try to clarify the story with a sword for her. Or whatnot.
Don't you fret about the sword, Geralt. I promise to ascend to the fucking heights of oratory. Be soft as a mink, cautious as a novice strumpet. I'll get you that blade if I have to shave my beard off.
Alright then. See that, Scalen? We were headed for a tragedy.
Now we're headed for a comedy.
Ah, youth these days, lacking hope and heart. You know what Zoltan and I saw at Brenna, lad? To us, there's no such thing as the impossible.
Any idea where I might find the Dun banner?
Try the Netherworld. The whole unit was cut down during the battle 3 years ago.
I meant the unit's standard, which symbolizes death.
Ah, that makes it a lot easier. We buried it with the remains of the Caedwenis.
Where?
Just outside Vergen. I'll mark it on your map as the road could get confusing. Strange things are afoot in those crypts, Witcher. Caedweni ghosts scaring off our folk. That would be normal since they were invaders. But one's some kind of amateur historian, asking all that venture there about the battle and the Dun banner.
I'll look into it. Thanks. Triss could be somewhere in this area.
The plague. I've not seen her 5 years, must be. Since that day they proclaimed you dead. Last saw her in Rivia, in any case.
From what I've been able to establish, the Kingslayer forced her to teleport the two of them to this area, and she's not on the other side of the fog.
What did this Kingslayer look like?
A huge, bald witcher. Wears a medallion with a snake on it.
Sorry, Geralt. Doesn't even ring the tiniest bell, any of that.
I might know something. This drunk in Vergen claims he saw a redhead fall from the sky somewhere among the ravines. And then he said the sorceress Philippa Eilhart came around looking for this woman.
Shriveled old minx.
She sent her servant and some peasants to the ravines after her. But they came back empty-handed. Now Philippa's serving maid's gone, leaving the sorceress angry as a wasp. She even turned one of the plebs into a pig. I spoke to one of those peasants. He claims the lass was no servant, but an Nilfgaardian agent. And she apparently found something in those ravines. Maybe it was Triss. And maybe it was that witcher. Madame Eilhart, or the old minx as Yarpen calls her, knows she's been duped and can't forgive herself for it.
Did the woman flee south, deeper into Edirn?
Fucking hell! She came out the main gate not more than an hour ago, headed straight for the fog. Thought she might be out to do some magic probing or whatnot.
She knew a bit of magic. She might have crossed.
I guess I need to visit Shillard when I get back. How's Yorvith? Any chance I might run into him?
Minimal. He follows Saskia around like a once-neglected pup. Eyes on her at all times.
At least the lass is well protected. What do you seek from Yorvith? Last I heard, you weren't exactly chummy.
You heard right. But when I last saw him in Flotsam, he had something I need to lift the curse.
Even if you see him, I doubt he'll give you anything out of the kindness of his heart. Perhaps Saskia can convince him?
Guess I don't have much of a choice. It's nice to talk to you all, but we've got things to do.
Ah, that's life. Open the gate! I've got to fetch me a certain sword.
Wait a minute. If by some miracle you obtain that cursed blade, I'd advise you not to parade it out the main gate past the squirrels.
Got another solution?
There's another passage. I'll mark it in the Witcher's map and show you myself. Sound all right to you?
It does. In the meantime, I'll look around for that flag.
Prime, I'd say.
Off we go then.
Damn it!
Who are you, and what do you seek?
Geralt of Rivia. I seek the standard of the Dun Banner. Who are you?
Eckhart Hennessy, ensign and color-bearer of the Dun Banner, the best force to issue from the land of Kedwen.
You may not remember me, but I remember you.
Where from?
I served in the Dun Banner.
Liar!
I fought beneath its standard at Brenna and at Vergen.
The Battle of Brenna. The Nordlings, shoulder to shoulder against the Black Ones. The Redanians, led by De Ruyter on the right, Natalis leading Temeria on the left. A splendid sight, was it not?
You're mistaken. The Redanian regiments were on the left. The Temerians took the center.
Correct. Perhaps you speak the truth.
Try me again.
Tell me, for this you must know. Who was chief commander of the Nilfgaardians at Brenna?
Menno Cohorn.
I am beginning to believe you. Menno Cohorn, the repulsive head hound of the Nilfgaardian pack, but a great commander. You will again let the Nordlings' blood. Would you agree?
Your memory has suffered after death. Cohorn perished. At Brenna.
You are vigilant. I could not deceive you.
Because I am of the Dun Banner.
Perhaps you did fight at Brenna. It was so long ago I may have forgotten you. But Vergen is another matter.
I can't answer for the state of your memory.
You are right. Memory often fails us after death. I cringe to admit I've forgotten who commanded the armies during the Battle of Vergen. Perhaps the most important day of my life. And the last. Be so good as to remind me.
Seltkirk led Eddern. Vandergrift led us.
Well done. Not all know that. Some believe that the kings commanded the armies during the battle, or that their mages did.
Do you believe me yet?
Not yet, but I shall when you tell me how you survived the massacre at Vergen.
Reverend Crest led us out of the fire. He had a magic medallion that protected us from the flames.
Many survived?
Zivik's platoon.
Zivik, the regiment's best corporal. You have proven that you served in the Dun Banner.
May I take the standard?
Why do you desire it so?
It will help me lift a curse.
Curses are of no import to me.
This one should be. It has stopped King Henselt's army from advancing.
The unicorn has returned.
He stands at Vergen's gates. With your help, he'll avenge the Dun Banner.
The standard lies in the sarcophagus. Take it. You will also find the sword of Colonel Gondor. Now, it is yours.
Thank you.
Where have you left your mount?
There are no horses here.
True. I would gladly drink with a brother from Brenna, but I am an unfettered soul. Strong drink means nothing, tastes of nothing. Perhaps I miss that most in death. Guard the standard. I grasped it firmly even as they cut me down.
Zoltan, you were supposed to bring the sword.
I failed, Geralt.
That was not the best idea, Witcher. Dwarves are poor liars in general, and that's especially true of this one.
You know everything you need to know?
Yes. You need the weapon to lift the curse from Henselt and free the souls of the fallen.
Milady, I know you're at war with Henselt, but the curse threatens Vergen as well. It's a field of uncontrollable magic energy.
No need to exert yourself. I know this. The sword shall be yours.
Just like that?
Yes. I'm glad to help and thank you on behalf of the Vergennes, the souls of whose loved ones will finally be granted the peace they have so long deserved.
Milady.
I am no lady. My name is Saskia.
Saskia, I'll need some time to lift the curse, enough for you to fall back. The Scoia'tael and peasants can't hope to defeat a professional army in open battle. Withdraw deeper into Eddern.
You underestimate them.
Looking to be another Ellerin? Do you want them to die with your name on their lips? You know that's what'll happen if there's a fight. The fighters will die quick deaths, but then Henselt's men will enter the town. They'll spare no one. They'll kill the men, rape the women, turn the beautiful ones into slaves, and torture the rest to death.
I have seen conquered cities and know the risks. Why do you aid Henselt? Why do you risk your life to lift this curse?
I have my own agenda. A certain seer foretold that in lifting the curse, I'd recover my memory. I'm certainly not Henselt's devoted follower.
In that case, join my forces.
I can't. I have certain obligations on the other side. Friends who remained in Henselt's camp. Friends I can't leave behind.
I too have obligations that prevent me from fleeing or withdrawing. I cannot disappoint all those who place their trust in me. Go where you must and hope your obligations don't drive you to fight me.
I'm no soldier, Saskia. You can be sure of that.
Time will tell. Farewell, Witcher, and look after your friends. Henselt is a true rogue.
See ya, you old prick! Don't let them kidwinize you, and don't get killed.
That goes for you too, Zoltan. Farewell to you both.
Saskia, I forgot one wee thing. Geralt wishes to meet with Yorvith. He's got dealings with the elf.
I need the head of the spear used to finish off Sabrina as she uttered the curse. Yorvith had it when we ran into each other in Flotsam.
He lost it playing dice. Scanlan now has the spearhead. The young Burden is a gambler, an addict, and perhaps Vergen's top sharp. You should speak to him.
Yorvith put that spearhead up as a bet?
When it comes to getting folk to sit down to a game of poker, Scanlan can be convincing. His pack is bulging with treasures. You'd be surprised. All won at dice.
I won't need convincing. We'll see how he does against me. Farewell to you both. I heard you have the head of Yorvith's spear.
I do indeed.
I could use that spearhead.
Not a chance in hell. It's my trophy. Won it off the greatest killer among elves. In certain circles, that makes me a hero.
What were you playing?
Dice poker.
I've rolled a few dice in my time.
Do I hear a challenge? I trust you'll not ask me for a handicap. Though I must warn you, I aim to be merciless. Curse or no curse.
Let's begin.
You play like a true sharp. Almost like a cheat. But, true to my word, the spearhead's yours.
Thanks, Scalen. I heard you have a few more interesting trinkets I could win off you.
I could find something.
Good, you're here. The Nilfgaardians attacked us.
Any idea why?
They were loitering around here, staring into the fog as if waiting for something. I summoned Fen, Silas, and a few others, and told Vess to cover us from a distance while we went to talk to them. So I asked the black dogs courteously why they were gazing into the fog, as if the Emperor himself was about to emerge from it. No answer. But I can see the anger, knitted brows, faces reddening. And they start growling to each other in that dog's tongue of theirs. A woman came out of the mist, beautiful and barely alive. She dropped to the ground and a small object slipped from her hand. It was a jade figurine, no larger than a man's hand. If I didn't know it was impossible, I'd say it was Triss turned into a statuette.
It is possible. Artifact compression. Where's this woman?
I don't know. The girl growled at the soldiers and all hell broke loose. The Black Ones jumped us and she ran off towards the camp.
I need to follow her.
We're going with you. Fall in! We're too late!
Is the Percival ready to sail?
It is. But they will not let us go. Henselt has plans of his own.
I couldn't give a shit about Henselt. Shillard has Triss, and I need to save her.
It's not an option. They'll not let us sail until you lift the curse. And we've no chance of catching the Nilfgaardians on foot. If they wanted to kill her, she'd be dead already. Besides which, we know where they've gone. Loch Muin, Witcher. The monarchs and mages are to meet and decide the fate of the known world. You will find Triss there, I promise.
King Henselt awaits you, Witcher. At last, have you got Sabrina's spear?
Not only that, I've got all 3 artifacts.
You won't regret it. Let's do some magic!
She died here.
And pissed and shat as she did.
Evil place. You can feel it in the air. Those candles don't help any either.
They've gone mad. Someone said the bitch died a martyr and now the common folk burn candles for her.
I have to observe this place from a distance.
During the execution, I was on that hill. I'll show you.
Scary place.
I hope this won't take long.
Flat area. That's good.
Are you concerned for your feet?
Your Majesty, you need to draw runic protective signs around the stake.
Magic signs are the domain of witches, not kings. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's important that you draw the circle yourself, Your Majesty.
Important for whom?
It was your death Sabrina foretold, so who do you think?
All right. Tell me what we do.
To lift the curse, we have to reenact the events from 3 years ago.
How do you wish to do that if half of those involved lie rotten with the worms?
It's about the energy of that time. The energy of the woman who cast the curse, combined with the energy of its victim. When you get the runic signs right, Sabrina's ghost will appear.
Bring the bitch to life. It'll be a pleasure to put my spear in her.
Remember to stab her in exactly the same spot as that soldier did, but earlier this time, before the sorceress completes the curse.
I'll look for the hole. But how am I to know when?
When you realize that the curse concerns you. But be ready, she may use a different name.
Is that all?
For you. Then I take over. Spectres might appear during the exorcism.
Might or will?
It depends on Sabrina's aura in the spirit world.
I'll wager ghosts loathe the cunt. Let's get it over with. Tell me what I am to draw.
You have to go down there, Your Majesty.
What about you?
I'll guide you. I have a good view from up here. Pour the powder towards the petrified bread loaf, Your Majesty. Head towards the black candles, Your Majesty. Now go towards the goat skull, Your Majesty. Now towards the burnt tree. Find the raven's corpse, Your Majesty. Now spread the powder and head for the stone bowl. Go towards the pixie ring, Your Majesty. Sire, form a large, even circle at a good distance from the pyre.
It's turned out beautifully. Pity the wind will soon scatter it.
The evil power of the curse came from the fire. Fire's a hard element to tame, and this one had added potency. It consumed the body of the one casting the curse.
Enough of these phantasmagorias, as Deathmold puts it. Look at my boots.
Stay in the circle, Your Majesty.
The powder reeks of dwarven dung.
It's begun. You have some brave soldiers, Your Majesty.
They're scared of ghosts, as we all are. Curses, there's hundreds of them!
Calm down, Your Majesty. We're protected by the magic runes. The ghosts won't get past the barrier.
I'm not afraid of people, but those plowing creatures have begun to bother me.
You're safe if you stay within the runes.
What should I do?
When the sorceress calls your name, you have to show mercy and end her suffering with the spear. You've broken the circle. Spectres could get through.
What shall we do?
I'll take care of them. You finish the exorcism, Your Majesty.
Now, Your Majesty!
It worked.
Are you sure?
All I can say for sure is that a dwarf can pass between a troll's legs, even on tiptoe. But I think it went well.
Good. For me and for you. But all the worse for Edern.
You owe your freedom from the curse to Saskia's generosity. You should send a delegation to thank her, Your Majesty.
I'll thank her in person once you disperse the fog of spectres from the battlefield.
That'll be much harder.
I have faith in you, and faith can move mountains.
Funny you say that. I need an artifact symbolizing faith.
Yes, Deathmold told me. I'll give you the medallion. First, I must have a drink. Come to my tent. I'll roll out my best wine. You deserve it!
Aye, there are. And you don't